And I want to read something that Mark O'Mara had said, and he had said that things would have been different if Zimmerman was black, and I'm quoting. He said, "I think things would have been different if George Zimmerman was black for this reason. He never would have been charged with a crime." Do you agree or disagree with that?
I think that Mark O'Mara is onto something here. You have to remember, Clayton, we can't ever forget, the original prosecutor, a good professional person with a competent office, highly regarded, the original police chief, the original officers, all of the witnesses. This case was just one of those things. Again, I want to stress the fact not all tragedies are crimes, and that, O'Mara's onto something. This was bold-faced race politics. The president gave the signal. Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton, two men I hold in very high regard. But when they stirred things up, they did it in a way that I think was way over the top. The Hoodie March and all the rest of it and all the criticism I got was saying about this youngster, you dress like a thug, people are going to treat you like a thug. That's true. I stand by that. Even in my own family, I got grief behind that. But that's the reality. You don't send your kids into the rainy night and then have them walking back alleys in troubled neighborhoods and expect a good result.
But Geraldo, look, I don't even know how I feel about George Zimmerman. I know I feel terrible for the family of Trayvon Martin, and I feel bad that he died. But I am positive that people like Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton do not deserve to be called civil rights leaders. They are not. They are hustlers and pimps who make a living off inflaming racial tensions. They know nothing about this. They're not residents of Florida. They don't represent anybody. They're not elected to anything. They don't have constituencies. And the only reason they are allowed to do this is because we in the press enable them by calling them civil rights leaders. Why do we do that?
You know, Tucker, let's not have that debate this morning, but I will agree with you in this regard. You had 11 black kids killed last weekend in Chicago.
Exactly.
11, 40-odd wounded. Where was the Reverend Sharpton? Where was the Reverend Jackson? That's the real civil rights crisis in urban America today. It is the gun violence run rampant, black-on-black crime, which amounts to 80+% of all the fatalities in the community. I think that what happens is, and what happened here, they went back to the old stereotype. Black kid killed by cops, there's where the outrage is. And it is almost irresponsible. It is certainly the easy road for these civil rights leaders, and I do believe they are, to ignore the real civil rights crisis in the urban community. It's intramural violence, gang violence, youth violence, the breakup of the family, fathers not being home, the tragedy, and the compounding tragedy. And I come back to the Trayvon Martin situation. I know the parents. I know Sabrina Fulton. I interviewed her. I know Tracy Martin, the dad. I interviewed him. These are good people who tried their best with a teenager who was giving them a lot of trouble. Remember, he was living with his mom in Miami. That's why he was a stranger in that community. He was visiting his dad because he had been suspended from school. These parents tried their best.